Hello, Tovino Thomas. Welcome to Film Companion South. I just seen you in Kala, and you're looking huge and muscular and like this big scary guy. And now you're looking like a schoolboy. I'm like trying to like wrap a head around that. You know.
I lost my beard. Maybe like I took it off for Minnal Murali's remaining shoot, and I'm losing my weight for my next movie, Tallumala, which is
Okay.
directed by Khalid Rahman and written by Mohsin Parari, who wrote Virus. And Khalid Rahman, he directed Unda and Love and Anuraga Karkinmalam.
Right. Of course, now with the lockdown, everything is kind of nobody knows what's happening now. So are you just chilling at home?
Yes, I with my parents and like ours is a joint family. My brother and my family, my family, and uh, since it's vacation for the kids, like for a long vacation, 2 year long vacation for the kids. My sister's kids live here now, so like, and I have a lot of pets here, so I'm having a great time.
Fantastic. Is it true, Tovino, that your favorite method of communication is through WhatsApp stickers?
Yes, it is. I have a reason for that. First thing, it's very convenient.
Okay.
And second thing, when we are chatting on WhatsApp, we are not seeing each other face to face. So
Right.
there is a chance of miscommunication. With the stickers, we'll be able to like express our emotion and intentions. Otherwise, some sarcasm can go wrong. Like people will take it too seriously. But with an emoji or with a sticker, it's a lot more easier.
Okay. So if I need to send you a WhatsApp message, I should do it with an emoji or a sticker.
Not necessarily. Like my way of typing things, I like I get bored very soon. So
Right.
instead of typing a whole explanation paragraph, I send out a sticker.
Okay. First of all, congratulations about Kala, which is just out on OTT, and I think everybody's is thoroughly blown away by the film.
Thank you so much. We are overwhelmed. Like the whole team during this pandemic, when we released the movie in 50% occupancy, we all had a little concern.
Right.
But when it came out in OTT, like we are getting great reviews and we are overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I want to go back to when the censor certificate happened, and you got an A certificate, and you were thrilled. Like it's almost
Yeah.
like even you didn't. It was like usually when people get an A certificate, they're a little scared because that reduces the so-called family audience. But you were over the moon. You were like you were tweeting out saying, "Yay, we got this!" So you kind of wanted this movie to be like this.
I wouldn't say I was thrilled, but the whole team, my team was a little bit concerned about the A certificate. We all thought that it might restrict people from coming to the theaters. During the time of pandemic, when only 50% of occupancy is allowed in theaters, we didn't want our movie to go unnoticed. And from the censor board, we got very good reviews. They said they all liked the movie, and they also suggested don't cut short the scenes and don't mute this, and just for the sake of a
Right.
ubare. And Kala Rohit had uh, like tried a raw way of storytelling. So if we try to dilute that just for the sake of certification, the true essence of the movie would have been lost. So instead of expressing the concern, we wanted to express it in an interesting, funny way. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to read out the interesting, funny way, which is Kala censored. We got a certificate. Yes, A certificate. Hashtag no cuts. Hashtag no beeps. Hashtag raw. Hashtag for grown-ups only. Hashtag babies step back. That was like quite
No, no, no.
crazy.
The last one, the baby step back. Why I put out that was like I've done around 42 movies,
Right.
and in that, in around five movies, I have done lip lock sequences. I feel like they try to tag me as a serial kisser, but I'm not. I've done I've done a lot of other
Yeah, yeah,
movies
yeah.
in which I've done, which I believe I've done decent performances. I
Right.
want those performances to be discussed,
Right.
not my lip locks. They can discuss my lip locks because I've tried my best each of my lip lock to look different
Okay.
depending on the character. So that should be considered as a performance, not as something I do in real. as soon as I posted that we got an A certificate, I started getting such messages. So I edited and added that hashtag later. And whenever a movie gets an A certificate, there is a tendency for people to think that there is so much intimate scene, so much
Yeah,
vulgar sexual stuff in the movie. But it's we got an A certificate for the violence,
yeah, yeah.
not for the intimate scene. And I got messages saying after the release, I got messages saying the movie was too good. We loved the action sequences. It was so realistic. We loved the direction, the performances, all were good. But you could have avoided that intimate scene, like so that we could have watched it with our family. I was surprised. Like 40-45 minutes of gory, violent action sequences and bloodshed. It's normalized and very aesthetically shot,
Yeah,
intimate scene,
yeah,
which lasts less than 1.5 minutes, is making so much of uneasiness. I don't understand why.
yeah, yeah.
So that's why that's with the hashtags. I wanted people to notice the movie. I wanted the hashtags and the post to be different
Right.
so that we get the attention and people come to theater and watch the movie. Even now I don't recommend kids to go watch this movie, like not because of the intimate scene. It's so aesthetically shot, that's not the problem, but because of the violence.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why the censor board gave us A certificate, and it's mentioned as 18 plus in Amazon Prime. So let the kids grow up and then watch the movie.
yeah.
I'm sure some copies of the movie will be around even then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is a very good movie, and I thought maybe we could, do that. Use color to enter the head of Tovino Thomas.
Okay.
How do you pick on a movie? For example, let's take color. So Rohit has this idea. Do you read a script? Do you listen to a narration? Do you listen to a one line? How do you know that this movie is
See,
right for me?
I do both. Like I read scripts or I listen to the narration, but I prefer listening to the narration from
Okay,
directly from the director or the writer, so that I'll get to know what they are going to do about the movie, what they want me to do,
right.
what contributions they want me to do for the movie, and on what scale they are planning to make
Yeah,
this film, and what all things will be emphasized. But sometimes it won't be like possible, during the time of lockdown and all, it won't be possible. So Kala's case, what happened was during last lockdown, Akhil George, the DOP of the movie, we had worked together in forensic also. He called me up and said, Rohit, want to narrate a script to you. Then another thing is, me, Rohit, and Akhil, we used to do short films together back in 2011. So we all were very comfortable among one another then. And Rohit sent me a few voice notes, 5-6 voice notes, each 2 to 3 minutes long, in which he had narrated the whole idea of the movie, like a one line. But he was so passionate. I could sense that from his voice. Like he was very convinced about the politics in the movie, and I instantly liked the way he narrated and the politics. And even I believe that politics is something that should be talked about. Like
yeah.
it should be spoken to our movie. And yeah, I said yes. And after that, we had long conversations over the phone. And once the lockdown was over, all of us got together, read the script, and we were very excited to start shoot.
And I think one of the most amazing things about your career in a lot of the films that I've seen is that you have never been shy or afraid to share screen time with another actor.
Mhm.
Because we all know, I'm not going to name names, but we all know a lot of actors who want them to be the center of the movie, which is perfectly fine. I mean, whatever it is. But here, even at the end, Sumesh Moore's name comes before Tovino Thomas's name when the cast list goes up, and you have it's an equal. Without him, there is no you character, and without you, there is no
Yes.
him character. You're both, in it together. When you do movies like this, Tovino, do you obviously you're looking for the movie to come out well, and you
Yes.
want the product to be well. But is there one corner of your mind that says like that gets competitive and says, I should be better than this person. I should act, like I should take inspiration and do well, better. Is there a little competitive element that happens there?
There'll be a healthy competition that while acting to be the best performer. That
Right.
I agree, but I'm not someone who suggests changes in the script in favor of me. That's not me. That's not how I do. And in Kala's case, I don't have to be insecure at all. Like from the reviews I get, from the responses from the common audience, and from the reviews, what I read, what I feel is I've done justice to my character. That's all what matters. In this movie, when Rohit narrated the script, I clearly knew which character I'm going to play.
Right.
Because I could have never played the character Moore played. And Moore could have never played the character which I played because of the politics of the movie. We all wanted audience to love Moore's character more. At some point, we all had this small concern that people might tend to like my character more just because I'm a non-face. It was a concern for us actually, but we all knew that only if audience like Moore's character more than my character, the politics which we were trying to portray in this movie would come out or would be conveyed convincingly.
Right.
So as one of the producers of the movie, I wanted my movie to work.
Right.
And I don't have to be insecure. I've done my part decently well.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all what matters.
And there are also movies like Goda or Virus where they are what people would call female-oriented films, because the protagonist is a
Many of
woman.
them, like Uyare.
Yeah,
lot of them. Like,
yeah, and sorry, not Virus, Uyere. I meant Uyere. Yeah,
yes,
so again, there you're kind of stepping back a little, even though your character is a solid character, a prominent character, but you're stepping back a little and saying this is the protagonist of the movie. Again, that's a little rare to find. So I wanted to like that is so nice to find.
See, I'll tell you something. See, I started from zero.
Right.
And all I wanted was to see myself on the big screen.
Right.
And once I accomplished that, whatever happened after that, I consider that as a bonus.
Lovely.
And I have done villain roles. I have done character roles. I have done like comedian roles. And even after I started doing positive lead roles, I still went back and continued doing my thing, like villain roles, like the one I did in Mari, or character roles in Uyere or Goda. In Goda, I consider myself as a character role. Yeah. And even in Kala, I consider myself as the villain of the movie. Like that's what I had in my mind when I did the movie. So I was very comfortable doing that. Like, and I did all these, and I lost nothing. I still believe that my position is in the industry is not so bad, and I have a long lineup of movies in which I'm playing different kind of characters.
Yeah.
So why should I be worried about that? Like I have work, I'm working, and I have a decent like earning, and that's what I consider as a blessing, like as a bonus. Right. I'm very happy about my career.
Fantastic.
I'm living my dream, bro.
Yeah. You're that's amazing to hear. I'm living my dream. You said that you love to see yourself you wanted to see yourself on the big screen. Do you watch all your movies on the big screen?
Yes.
Okay.
I make sure that I watch all my movies on the big screen. But the problem is I won't be able to enjoy it to the fullest.
Yeah.
Because I already know the script. I've been on the sets while shooting. I've been a part of the filmmaking process. So even during post-production, we'll be during dubbing and everything. So I'll not be able to enjoy the movie to the fullest like a normal audience. But I go and watch all my contemporary actors or my senior actors' movies. Like I love watching movies from theaters. I'm a movie buff, but I make sure that I watch all my movies a couple of times, so that as a self-assessment process that I should do. Like from the theaters, if I watch the movie from the theaters with the audience, I can assess myself. I can understand where I went wrong, where I did right, how and where I connected with the audience. So that's very important as an actor, I guess.
Right. So it's almost like, are you one of those actors who says, oh, I wish I had done that scene better. Like, oh, this, you do that?
Every time. Like I think generally every artist has this problem. Like we'll never be satisfied. We'll always crave for improvisations.
What is the one movie that where you felt, okay, this is a movie I'm really happy with. I mean, the least number of mistakes I've made.
I think Mayanadhi and Kala, I have such a feeling. Like
Okay.
the least number of mistakes. It's not. I wouldn't say those performances were perfect. And even in Oscar goes to, I have
Yeah,
that
yeah,
feeling. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I think I've done very less number of mistakes in that.
So let's talk about a few movies and your reason for choosing the films. You already said that you like the narration, or you like to listen to a narration or a script. But I'm looking for, there must be one point where you say, oh, wow, this is a really good angle. I want to do this movie. So I'm going to begin
Mhm.
with Mayanadhi.
Okay.
What made you say, wow, this is really interesting. I want to do this movie?
The most interesting part was it was directed by Mr. Ashish Babu and it was written by Mr. Shyam Pushkaran. That's a
Yeah, okay,
deadly combo, you know.
yeah.
And that was the most interesting angle about that movie. And the way they narrated the script, the way they like made me like very comfortable on the sets. So everything mattered. Like I loved the script and I loved the character. And when I went for the shooting, before every scene they had this particular way of conditioning the actors. So in Mayanadhi's case, more than the script, it's the team what plays the crucial role,
Okay.
because Shyam Pushkaran is someone who creates magic just before the sequence. In this conditioning process, he has got his magic. So I think not a particular angle. The altogether, the team was the best thing about Mayanadhi. But when they narrated the script, I could like imagine how they will visualize this movie. Like from seeing their previous movies, I was sure that they might be having this in their mind, my mind, their mind. Like I don't have to depend on my imagination to play the movie in my head. Like I got a clear picture from them.
One of my favorite scenes in all of Malayalam cinema, I would say, is that I love that movie. And when this character, your character, comes to this big posh hotel, right? And typically in a scene, what will happen is he'll just like go berserk and start jumping on the bed, or oh wow, and things like that. Here, he just looks around. There's this look of wonder in his face, like, and you see that inside this man there is a certain softness, that
Yes.
there is a certain, those kind of, is that what you mean by conditioning, like how Sham explains the scene to you?
Yes. Like Matan from Mayanadi is 25 percentage Mr. Ashik Abu, 25 percentage Mr. Shyam Pushkaran, 25 percentage Tovino Thomas, and 25 percentage pure fiction.
Okay.
Like Ashiketan is someone who makes sure that the actor is most comfortable throughout the shoot. Like he makes sure that.
Okay.
And before the scene, they comes and conditions us, as I told earlier. And after narrating the script, Shyamalan would be asking, if you were in a similar scenario in real life, what would be your response? So once I give the response, if they liked it, they'll give me full freedom to bring it out in my own way. But if they don't like it, they'll be like, "Oh, you cannot do that in this movie. You can do that in some other movie. Now do what we had already planned." So that's how they made me a part of the script writing and the filmmaking process. So they make us a part of the whole process.
Right.
That's
Right.
what they do. Like that. That's like that can give magical results.
Right.
That's what I believe.
Did you expect the line "sex is not a promise" to become such a major like talking point? Because when I saw the movie, it was so beautiful and part of the script and everything, but later it just became this huge, like everybody was talking
It
about it.
became a huge like everyone appreciated it because everyone know the social scenario here,
Yeah, yeah,
and it made sense when
yeah,
while we were shooting the film. When I should have said that dialogue, I also thought, oh, it makes sense.
yeah.
Like it's a bold line, it's a very powerful statement which is not very common for a heroine to say such lines in a conventional cinema, as far as Malayalam cinema is concerned.
Now, Rohit, when he was talking about Kala in an interview, he said that Tovino's meter and method really stunned me. What is your process like, Tovino? Like meter and method, what is this? What is this thing that he's talking about?
The thing is, I after committing to a movie, I don't want to make any compromises. So what I do is I'll have long discussions with the writer and director, and I'm very much dependent to the director. I'm a director's actor. That's what I believe. And during Kala, I had very long conversations with Rohit every day because I wanted to know how Rohit want me to play the character.
Yeah.
If I'm able to, I should give more than what he expects from me. So from these long conversations, I get to know on which meter he wants me to play the character, and I play the character in that meter. That's my method. That's it.
your
Like
method.
I said, that's my method. Like I'm very much dependent on the director and the writers and the team, the whole crew. Like I want everyone to contribute. I want everyone's support for performance. If the crew is good, I'm sure any actor can perform good. Like,
Well, I won't agree with that, but yeah, I mean, I think I get with your
maybe it's my method, but what I've in my experience, I've seen actors performing great with the bestest of the crew they'll ever get. Like Kala was one among that.
Yeah,
I've seen actors performing to their best with a beautiful crew.
Yeah. In another time, you spoke about how seeing yourself in a mirror helps you kind of get into the rhythm of the character because you kind of look different in certain films. Like, for example, in Kalal recently, you had this big, beard and other things. Is that one of your little tricks that you use in your acting?
I try and experiment with my looks in every movie. And when I change my looks in every movie, when I wake up in the morning, when I look into the mirror, I see the character, not myself. Like for every movie, I do something like I'll grow the beard, I'll put on some weight, or I'll lose some weight, or I'll keep a mustache, or I can even grow my eyebrows. If you watch Kala, you can see my eyebrows are this long. Like I don't know if that happens to everyone, but it happens to me. From like if I don't trim my eyebrows for a while, it will go like it will grow grow longer. So for Kala, I thought that longer eyebrows would be good for the character. And whenever I during Kala's shoot, whenever I look into the mirror, I see Shaji, not me. So I think it's a good thing. Like it's one of my tricks, which helps me to get into the skin of the character easily. Another thing I do is using one single perfume for throughout the shoot of the character. So if I'm playing Shaji, I'll be using one particular perfume, and I won't use any other perfume throughout the shoot of the movie.
Okay.
So I believe our memory and the smell has got a very unique connection. Like whenever I smell a new book, I still remember my LKG, like the first day of school. So it's connected. The smell and our memories are connected. What I believe is it's helping me to get into the skin of the character, to carry the character.
Sure.
So that's another trick I do. Like when I'm playing Mayanadhi, I wouldn't go for strong smell. I wouldn't go for a strong perfume. Like I wanted the character to be a soft one, so I'll be using some mild ones. And for Kala, I don't mind using a strong scented perfume. One reason is the character is a bit intense, and another thing is we used to get a lot of mud on our shirt, and also this perfume can make the other actor comfortable. Like he doesn't have to smell the mud or my sweat. I used strong smelled perfumes for Kala. So that's another thing I do. I don't know if it's helping me, but I believe it's subconsciously helping me.
Yeah. Let's talk about Theevandi, another film of yours that I found really fascinating, because I think there's everybody at some point has tried to has struggled. Many people have had a struggle with giving up smoking and all. And one of my favorite scenes is when you put a thali inside the cigarette packet, and that's kind of a hilarious scene. But tell me, what was it that said, okay, this is a movie that I've got to do?
Theevandi is another movie which helped me get a lot of critical acclaim. At the same time, the movie did so well in box office. It was
Right.
a huge commercial hit. For playing that character, I had to smoke so much cigarette every day. But one of the best things about that movie was the movie not only entertained the people, but it also encouraged people to quit smoking. I started getting hundreds of messages on my social media handles saying, "Bro, this movie encouraged us to quit smoking. Thank you so much." And all. So that's a good thing, no? Like I ruin my lungs not only to entertain people, but also to encourage them to quit smoking. What I believe is cinema is one of the most popular and influential medium.
Right.
So it can influence people in a very good way or in a very bad way, depending on their perspective. But I think Theevandi portrays the troubles we might get into because of smoking. And what we achieved was something that years of statutory warnings couldn't achieve. Like through entertainment, we encourage them to quit smoking.
Is there any role that Tovino Thomas won't do?
Like I would try doing every role. Like
I don't know. Is there
yeah.
some moral line that says I won't play a rapist or I won't play a child molester or some? Is there something that you will not, because everything is a character ultimately on screen.
No, I think I shouldn't restrict myself as an actor. Everyone knows it's acting, no? So I shouldn't restrict myself.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I believe. I should do all kind of roles as long as I'm excited with this script, and I find a great scope of acting in my character.
Right. Let's talk about Mari 2, your first non-Malayalam film.
First thing, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Dhanush. He's an amazing actor. I wanted to share screen space with him. That was the first thing. And I had already watched director Balaji Mohan's movies, and I loved his work.
Okay.
So I wanted to work with him too. And the character which was offered to me, the antagonist of the movie, Thanatos, I found a great scope of acting in that. So that's why I said yes to that.
Do you find it easy to enter now, by its very nature, a film like Mari 2 is over the top, right? That's the nature of the movie.
Yes.
That's how it is. Do you find it easy to enter that zone?
Because from what I told earlier, I don't want to restrict myself.
Yeah.
Like I want to do all kind of characters. I want to do all kind of movies. I want to do mass movies. I want to do realistic movies. I want to do fantasy movies. I want to be everywhere. Like I want to do all kind of characters, and I want to try and explore my potential.
Right.
Like why should I restrict myself? If I try and fail, it's okay. I'll try again.
Right. What was it like getting a taste of the Tamil film industry? Was it very different, or was it just like acting anywhere else, or was there something different?
The filmmaking process is pretty much similar.
Right.
But Malayalam industry is relatively smaller in terms of budget. So as far as Tamil industry is concerned, Malayalam industry is a little less extravagant. That's it. The filmmaking process is pretty much similar, and in from Tamil industry, so many beautiful movies are coming out in past recent years. We have watched with beautiful content and very beautiful performances, and the movies like Asuran and Karnan done by my favorite actor Dhanush. See, it's very inspiring for us too. Like from Malayalam also, there are movies coming out with beautiful content and beautiful performances. So it's a good thing. Like being a part of all those industries who tries to produce beautiful movies with good content. It's a great thing, I believe.
How many languages do you speak to? Tamil,
one.
Okay.
One, Malayalam.
No, I'm just speaking English now. But what I'm saying is, when you go to a movie like Mari,
I did
what is
my
your process?
engineering in Coimbatore. I did my engineering in Coimbatore. So I lived in Coimbatore for 4 years, and I worked in Chennai for a year. So I can manage speaking Tamil, but it's not the case when we speak a dialogue in the movie.
Right.
Like it has to be perfect. Like I shouldn't just manage it. I
Yeah.
should be like almost perfect. Like anyway, I'll be having a Malayali accent. I'll keep on working that, and maybe next time when I do a Tamil movie, I won't be having that accent.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm working on it, but yeah, I can speak Tamil to an extent
Right.
and English to an extent, but I'm most comfortable in Malayalam. But I don't want to stay in Malayalam, like in my uh, comfortable zone.
Right.
I'll go out of my comfortable zone and do things.
Right. And let's say tomorrow you get a great Telugu script, or let's say you get a great Hindi script, or whatever it is. Would you try to learn and dub yourself, or would you just say, let me concentrate on the acting and let somebody else dub for me? How important is the voice to you?
I'll try my best and learn the language. Hindi I've learned in school, but I'm not used to speaking in Hindi. So I should get used to that. I should get a proper training, accent training, and all
Right.
for doing a character in Bollywood, in a Bollywood movie. But I believe dubbing for myself is very important.
It's important. Okay.
Like voice is a part of acting too. Like the modulations, the emotions. Most of the time, we express our emotions through voices.
Yeah.
So I think it's important too. So likewise, if I'm offered a role in Telugu in a Telugu movie, I should learn to speak Telugu and then go do that movie.
Yeah.
So before every movie, I should prepare. That's what I believe.
Yeah. What about Maradona?
Maradona is another favorite film of mine. Like that movie is nowhere related to football, but it's all about how a positive surrounding can bring out positive changes in a human being. The
Right.
movie, yeah, that's what that movie spoke about, and I loved that. It made sense to me. Like I could relate to it. Like when we are surrounded by positive people, our thoughts are positive. Whatever we speak becomes positive. So positive things starts happening to us. Like I said earlier, it tempted me because of the scope of acting in that movie, and in many sequences I had a dog and two pigeons as my co-artists.
Yeah.
It was a new experience for me, and it was directed by Mr. Vishnu Narayanan, who used to work with Mr. Ashi Kabu and Mr. Tilish Potan. It was written by Krishnamurthy, who used to work with Mr. Lijo Jospalisheti. So and I enjoyed the whole process. It was hectic, like it
Right.
was very tiring. Like we have days in which we have worked continuously for around 30-36 hours.
Yeah.
We have done that. We make movies in a very constrained environment, so we have a limited budget, so we'll have to go overboard and work hard without sleep and without break. But it's fine. I enjoyed working in that movie, and that movie got decent theatrical run and very good critical acclaim.
Right. How do you do this? It's like, see, making a movie is already hard work, right? And it's like you have to remember lines, you have to, remember your look and your act, everything. And on top of that, you make so many films. You're like, sometimes, you're shooting all the time. It almost looks like, because every year we get about 3 or 4 films. How do you handle that stress, or is there no stress at all?
Definitely there is stress, but I take power naps, which helps me reduce my stress, and I try to be with like very positive people who helps me relax. And I know for a fact that Malayalam industry is a very small industry in terms of budget.
Yeah.
So we have to work hard. We have to compensate that budget with our
Yeah.
effort. That's all what we can do. So we try and put maximum effort. Like most of the time, I have given my first priority to movies, and I'm lucky to have a family who understands that. 2-3 years back, when I was doing movies back to back, I got very less time to spend with my family, my wife and my daughter. So I couldn't say no to my commitments. I cannot like tell the people who are waiting for me to start the movie that I'm going home for a month. I'll spend my time with my family and come back and act. So they'll have to wait for a month. I don't want people waiting for me. I don't want people sacrificing for me. Instead, what I do is I sacrifice. Like I told my wife and daughter, okay, we are going for a long journey. Join me. Take all the dresses you have, take all the clothes you have. Let's go. And for an year, more than in a year, me, my wife, and my kid, we traveled. Traveled means wherever I go for shooting, they'll accompany me. And when I am going for the shoot, my wife, along with the kid, she goes out, explore the place. Like if it's Trivandrum, she explores Trivandrum. If it's Calicut, she explores Calicut. And so it's a good learning experience for my kid too.
Yeah.
And once I'm back from the shoot, once I'm back to the hotel, we go out for a drive or a dinner. So I get to spend quality time with my family. They get to see a lot of places. At the same time, I'm giving my first priority to movies. So that was a crucial point in my career.
Right.
I had to give first priority to the movies.
Yeah.
If you remember, like if you Google search, you can see my wedding photos in which I have a pencil thin mustache and sideburns, long sideburns. It was my wedding was during in the middle of shoot of Innocence Moideen. So I was playing this character who lived in 1960s. So I had this long
Yeah.
sideburns and a thin mustache. And the movie shoot was supposed to get over before my marriage date. But it didn't happen because of some reasons. The shoot got extended. So my marriage came in the middle of the shoot. As I told earlier, I don't like compromising.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to shave it off and use makeup to like maintain the continuity. Instead, I decided to go with a retro look for my wedding. So I made my wedding theme a retro theme. So I stitched a retro themed white tuxedo so that it went well with my side locks and mustache. And I wore these plain glasses, which like compensated it. So at times, uh, we should do that
Right.
for things we love because Innocence Moideen was a very crucial movie in my
Yeah.
career,
And
and
very important
it
movie
was a
for you.
turning. It
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
very important movie.
Yeah.
So I believe when I work hard, when I make sacrifices, like when without anyone else getting affected, when I do that, it like the universe is giving back something to us.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And even now, when I look at my wedding album, and when I compare it with my father's wedding album, I look like the guy who was living in 1960s, and he looks much more modern, who lived in 1980s.
That's amazing. I remember a picture of you and your father like pumping iron or like
Yeah,
yeah, this
he's a rock star. He's a lawyer, and even now, whenever he gets a chance, like now he cannot go out as it's lockdown here, but generally after the sessions in court he goes to our property like we have this farm and he works hard. He's past 70 now, but he still works hard. He has got this pacemaker which we implanted in 2016. Even after that he's still like rock solid. He's very strong. He's my inspiration. Like he's very healthy. I don't know how he got this heart disease. Maybe it's hereditary. Maybe I'll get it too. I don't know. But I haven't seen him sitting simply. He works hard. He is my inspiration. Like when last lockdown happened, I had already set up a gym in my home. And even if I miss the gym, he will not. He like even if I'm sitting in front of the TV, he'll come. Son, I'm going to the gym. So if you want, you just accompany me. He calls me. Like that's what our like older generations they were like that. Like they are hard workers.
yeah,
I'm getting inspired from them. Similarly, in movies, you know, in 1986, 36 movies of superstar Mohanlal released in 1986. So I think we are not working as hard as they used to do.
yeah,
And even when we look at Mr. Mammootty's profile, we can see more than 30 movies a year, 5 movies releasing for in a festive season. Like they used to work so hard. It's true that the number of shooting days was way lesser then, but still,
Yeah,
35 movies is not a small, like it's not small. Like they have worked hard and they have produced so much amazing contents back then. So I'm just taking inspiration from them.
yeah. That's amazing. Now, from what you've told me, Tovino, it looks like you select. I mean, the idea was to get into your head and see how you select films, and I think I'm getting the sense that you select films more for a slightly philosophical reason than for the narrative, kind of like almost like what the film is about, or what the film's
Yes.
ethos, or the philosophy is. Because even when you talked about Maradona and stuff like that, what about a movie like Guppy?
Guppy is one of my favorite movies. It still remains a pain that Guppy didn't do well in theaters.
Right.
Like for all of us, for the producers, for the director, for the crew, even though Guppy got a lot of appreciation once its television premiere happened, I still feel that Guppy deserved a better reception from theaters. And from what I know, I believe it's because I was not an established actor then. And the box office failure happened because of that. From then on, I've been working hard to become a bankable actor, to become a non-actor, so that people like get the courage to go to the theater and watch my movie. So Guppy is a very important movie in my career, and I love Guppy in all ways, like as a movie, as a philosophy, everything. I love the movie.
And would you say that you are normally an angry person? Because when somebody said that I want my ticket money back for Guppy, you said, "Give me a bank account. I will deposit the money back." It really made you mad. Are you that person
See,
in real life?
when I said that, I really meant it. I would have given him back his money. If he had told me that he didn't like the movie, I would have respected his opinion. I cannot expect everyone to like every movie of mine. People
Right.
have different tastes. I agree. But what he told was the movie is not worth the ticket price. That's not him to decide. I know the hard work. I know the effort the whole team had put into that movie, and we all were super confident about the movie. And we all were very disappointed when it didn't do well in theaters. And that's when this guy comes and comments. So it's not about giving a prompt reply in social media. I really believed in the movie, so I really meant it. I would have given him how much above money he lost.
Right.
And later on, when the television premiere happened, I was proven right. We were like we got an overwhelming response. I started getting hundreds of apology messages saying, "Bro, we missed this movie from theaters. We are very sorry about that. But your next movie we'll watch from theaters only."
Good.
And they kept their word. My next movie was a huge commercial hit. Mexican Abarada, Uru Mexican Abarada. And that's what made me a bankable actor.
Yeah.
That's what made me capable of promoting my movies better. But I still believe Guppy was a better movie.
So, in general, is Tobino Thomas an angry person or a calm person?
It depends. Like seasonally, it changes. Like I used to be very short tempered, but now I think I'm not that short tempered. Like when Guppy released, I was too young. Like I was a beginner. So now like I'm getting matured without losing my innocence. I'm getting matured
Right. Why do you say that without losing my innocence?
because maturity is all about losing your innocence.
Innocence is important, right? It's important to hold on to it.
Innocence is it's different from being naive. Innocence is important. Only an innocent person can love someone unconditionally.
Yeah.
Like just look at our kids. They love us unconditionally. We love them unconditionally because of their innocence.
Also, animals, because Rohit told me that you became great friends with the dog in the movie. So,
See, I love dogs. I love animals. But I'm a non-vegetarian. Like people shouldn't question me after this interview. Like I love them, and I have a lot of pets at home, and I think animals connect to us so much. They have some senses which we don't have,
Right.
or which we don't know that we have, or we don't use. Some senses, I think, dogs can sense if we are scared, or dogs can sense our intentions. That's what from my experience, I feel so. I love being with animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can trust them.
What about Lucifer? Did you say I like my role in this movie, or did you just say I don't care? I just want to be in a Lalitan film. I don't care what's the length of my role. I'm just going to do this film.
So when this character Jatin Ramdas from Lucifer was offered to me by Mr. Prithviraj Sukumaran and Mr. Murali Gopi, I was very much excited. At the same time, I had this little concern. Like every Malayali has seen all my movies and my interviews. They know that I'm a small town boy from Iringalakuda who speaks Malayalam with a Thrissur dialect. And if you have watched the movie, you know that speech sequence. In that, I had to look like someone doesn't who doesn't know Malayalam and who speaks in American English. So I asked them, bro, will this be convincing if I do the character? Then they were like, bro, you don't have to worry about all that. We'll take care of that. We believe the actor in you, and I trusted them, and I got to play a crucial character in one of the most anticipated movies, in which superstar Mohanlal is playing the lead role, and another superstar, Mr. Prithviraj, is directing the movie.
Yeah, and your role was very good as well.
Yes, if I've done justice to the character, I would give the entire credit to Mr. Prithviraj Sukumaran and Mr. Murali Gopi. Like I just submitted myself to them. I trusted them.
Now, you just said that you're the small town Malayali boy. That's the image that people have to you. But part of an actor's job is also to break that image, right? Of or
Yes.
I'm like earlier you said I should be able to play any role. So I remember that at one time, image used to be a very important thing for an actor. Like long
Mhm.
ago. What is the situation today? Do you need to have an image, or it doesn't matter at all?
I cannot tell a general statement.
Yeah, for you.
Like for me, what I believe is an image can be a burden for an actor when playing different kind of characters. This image can be a burden. It can restrict like the audience from accepting the character. So what I believe is I shouldn't have any such image. I should keep breaking my image so that I can be unpredictable, so that it will be entertaining for people to watch, for the audience to watch. At the same time, it won't be boring for me if I keep doing the same character again and again. If I keep doing the not same characters, similar characters. When we start doing lead roles, like most of the time we get a lot of offers for
Yeah.
lead roles, so we start doing similar roles again and again. It can be a boring process. The whole process can be a boring thing for an actor. So I want to be unpredictable. I don't want to restrict myself. I want to explore my full potential. So me not having an image is a good thing.
You not having an image has resulted in a very, very anticipated superhero movie called Minnal Murali, which we have been hearing about for a long time. I know that, okay, I think by now I've decided that you accept your movies based on a certain something like a philosophy kind of thing that they bring to you. What is it about Minnal Murali that apart from the fact that the superhero aspect must have been interesting, what is it? What is the philosophy that appealed to you?
Minnal Murali is a dream project for me, not only for me, for Basil, for everyone who is working in
Right.
it, for the producers. And even if we cut out the superhero element, we have a beautiful story to tell.
Okay.
And the movie altogether is a very grounded Desi superhero movie. But at the same time, it has a universal appeal just because it's a superhero movie. We don't get to do such roles like very often in Malayalam. It's not that we have not had superhero movies. We have had Krish. and Bhavesh Joshi and Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota. I loved those movies. So we wanted to try something in Malayalam. And when Basil approaches me with a script, most of the time I don't even want to listen to the script because I trust Basil so much. He is one of my best friends and he's one of my favorite directors. So, and I believe in his conviction. I believe in his dreams too because I can relate to him so much. We are kids, like deep inside, both of us are the small town boys, but we have worked hard to get into this industry, and now we know what position we are. So it's a combination of this. We want to succeed in this industry. We want to make good movies. At the same time, what connects us is this kid inside us. That's why he's one of my best friends from the industry. So I completely trust him. I completely trust his convictions. Like his previous movies, Goda and Kunjiramayanam, they were not very conventional movies.
Yeah, yeah.
And Basil has managed to create his own Basil cinematic universe. Like if you watch Goda, you can see a bus traveling from Kannadikal. That's the village where that story is happening. From Kannadikal to Desham, where Kunjiramayanam happened, and to Kurukamula, where this Minnal Murali is happening.
Oh
So
my
he
God.
has managed to create this Basil cinematic universe. And we got a very good team. Like we got a stunt choreographer from Hollywood, Vlad Rimberg. Another character is done by Guru Somasundaram. So when Basil narrated the script, I asked him, "Can I do the other character? It's so good." And Basil was like, "Okay, I can." I can offer you that character, but I'll have to find another hero for Minnal Murali too. Then I was like, no, I'll do Minnal Murali. I'll be the Minnal Murali. So that's an amazing character, and it's portrayed by Guru Somasundaram. He's an amazing actor,
Amazing actor.
amazing
Yeah.
human being, and that will be one of the best things about that movie. Yeah, now we have almost completed the shoot. We have just 2-3 days of shoot remaining, and post production is going on parallelly. So we are really looking forward to it. Like
Yes,
I
we are
want to
all.
watch it in. I want to watch it in big screen.
Yeah, I think we are all looking forward to it. You're working with friends. You're working with reputed people. For like Mayanadhi, you said the team was so good. With Basil is your best friend, one of your big friends. Now, not without there is also the chance that somebody might have an off day, that somebody might, with all they do all the preparation, but something goes wrong with the movie. Something doesn't work. Whatever happens, it happens to everybody, right?
Yes.
When you make a choice based on the team, is there something in you that also says, yes, the team is good, but I should also be kind of myself
Oh,
convinced?
definitely. I need to be convinced after reading the script.
Yeah.
I trust them, but they give me the script on the
Yeah.
first day of the narration itself. Like before narrating the story, they'll give me the script. I'll read the script,
Yeah.
and then
Listen to them.
more than a narration, it's a discussion with Basil.
Yeah.
So, I told that I trust him blindly, but he trusts me and he wants to know my opinion about the script.
Right.
So he'll give me the script first and then narrate it. So we'll have this long discussion and then we finalize it. It's not that Basil comes and gives me an offer and the next day we start shooting.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way thing. He respects me too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever work I am doing, he respects me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still blindly believe him. I know Basil
Yeah.
won't go wrong.
That's the second time you said that. You also said that in Kala, you had long discussions with Rohit. With Minnal Murali, you had long discussions with the thing. Do you think there is a screenwriter inside you?
No. When I'm discussing this, the screenwriter also will be with us.
But I'm saying
Like,
is
okay,
you want to.
I
Yeah.
understand. Like, I understand. I like listening to stories. I like telling stories. But I don't know if I can write a script. I don't know that. I don't know the technicalities of that.
Right.
But if I'm with my friends, I am a good storyteller. That's what they say. Like when I'm in a group of friends, I don't know if I can write a script. I don't know. I'm not trained for that, or I don't know the technicalities. Like I've heard of first act, second act, and third act, and I don't know how to write a script
Right,
in that format.
right.
I know what's first act, second act, and third act, but I don't know how to write a script, like considering all those things, and in that format I don't know.
Right. No, that's no, but because some actors like Prithviraj made Lucifer, Mohanlal is now making Burrows. Some actors, after some time they decide that they want to direct or do branch out or something like that. Right now, you're not thinking about any of that.
For directing a movie, I think I should know a lot more technical aspects of the movie. So once if I am fully confident that I know enough things to direct a movie, I might, like, it still remains as a dream to me, not even a desire. It's a dream. If ever I feel like I'm now fully prepared to direct a movie, I would like to direct a movie like Into the Wild.
Wow.
Like what Sean Penn did. Like not the same movie, but the philosophy that movie speaks about. I am very much inspired from that. So it still remains a dream. And if I don't ever feel myself that I can direct a movie, I will never direct a movie just for the sake of directing, just for the sake of getting that name. Like movies are not like child's play. It's a serious thing for me. It's my profession. It's one of the most important part of my life. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't play with movies.
Now, this is like, you just said Into the Wild, the philosophy. The word philosophy has come up so many times in this movies. What is Tovino Thomas's philosophy in life?
Live and let live.
Okay.
That's very simple.
Right.
We don't have to make so much effort. Just live and let live.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. It's a
That's
simple
it.
philosophy. And
Yes.
yeah. And next year, 2022 will mark 10 years of Tovino Thomas uh,
Yes.
in the cinema, beginning with films like, like with
Prabhu Namakal.
and
Prabhu Namakal,
then
ABCD,
ABCD and
Seventh
all
Day.
those films, attaining recognition with Moideen, and then slowly, getting on like that. If you take this period also, what have you learned about cinema in these 10 years? What is, because everybody wants to get into cinema, they have a certain idea in their head, but then once they get inside, they know what the reality is. What
Yes.
have these 10 years taught you?
Again, talk about the life lesson. Like dreams do come true. I'm still learning a lot. Like 10 years is not enough.
Yeah,
Like
but it's a
in
landmark.
cinema, yeah, yes, but in cinema, it's a never ending learning process. Like when I started off, I knew nothing. I was not even sure that I can act. I just had this keen desire. I wanted to see myself on big screen. So I worked hard for that. And what I believe is if you work hard, if you keep your focus alive, you have a space in this industry.
Nice.
You just need to work hard and keep your focus alive. And you should, not only in movie industry, in real life also, you should learn from your mistakes and correct it. There is always a second chance. Like once if I've done a mistake, and that doesn't mean that I have to keep on doing a mistake.
Yeah.
Like if I understand that there was a mistake, I should correct myself. And if I fail, I should try again. Until and unless I admit that I'm a failure, I'll never fail. So that's it. Very simple.
Very simple. And I hope you never fail. So, that is a pleasure because I've seen so many of your films and they've provided much pleasure. Thank you so much for being on Film Companion South. Congratulations
Thank you
again.
so much for having me here. Thank you
Yeah,
so
not
much.
at all. It was a
I
pleasure.
enjoyed talking to you. It was a great chat.
Thank you so much. And same here. And I'm so glad that Kala is making waves everywhere. And all the best. And yes, like you, we can't wait to see Minnal Murali. Hopefully,
Thank you so
fingers
much.
crossed, it happens soon.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Bye.
Thank you so much.